Hey, what's going on, guys? This is my new to me 2020 WR250F. I just picked this guy up about 3 weeks ago and it only had around 25 hours or 500 miles on it. And I'm super excited to be an owner of it. I test rode one of these in March of 2022 this year, and I just absolutely fell in love with the power delivery, the suspension, the handling, and just overall how this performed as a package off-road. And as some of you might know, I did end up looking for a KTM 350. I was keeping an eye on some on the market, but I just couldn't find the right deal. And I kind of know I knew I wanted something Japanese. After owning that Honda, I absolutely fell in love with just the way they engineer things, with how parts are easy to come across. And no, I absolutely love Japanese bikes. I kind of consider myself a fanboy now. But yeah, I'll just be getting to walk around some of the things that I've done to it. As you can tell, the first thing you might know is it's street legal. So I have my mirror right here. This is just the double take enduro mirror, and I have it attached to a sick ass racing, I think it's just sick ass mirror mount. And what's kind of cool about that is it attaches directly to the clutch lever, so you don't need to use any additional handlebar space. And I also do have a plate holder, and this is actually really nice just because it's very sleek. You don't actually need to do any drilling into the plastic. There's actually a guy, I think his name is Tim Clark. I might be wrong on that, but he sells these on eBay and they're like 35 bucks. And they fit like a perfect glove on the back of the rear WR fenders. I think you can also get them for the FX models as well, but they're really designed for the WR models. Some of the protection components as well, I did end up getting an Acerbis muffler protector, and this was just a lesson learned from my last bike. It got a little bit scuffed, and I just didn't want that happening again. So to prolong the life and cleanliness, so to speak, of the muffler, I thought this was a pretty decent investment. I also did go with the Acerbis frame guards because I don't like having a scuffed up frame, and I chose the gray ones because I thought it fit the bike pretty well. It kind of blends in, doesn't stick out like a sore thumb or anything. Let's see, one of the other things, oh yeah, the skid plate as well is just an AXP full linkage protector skid plate. And I was gonna hold off on this mod, but I figured, it's so darn rocky here in Arizona, I might as well just pick this guy up and buy once, cry once type deal. So no, I think it's well worth it. This one fit a lot better than the WR250F skid plate that I bought from the same company. That one I had to use a blowtorch to get it to fit, but this one actually fit a lot better, so I'm happy about that. Did come with radiator guards. So these are from Enduro Engineering. I took the sticker off, but these are pretty beefy. They're actual guards, not like mud guards. And I actually, speaking of mud guards, I did leave the OEM ones on. I actually kind of like the plastic. I'm not a big fan of the huge, like all metal design. It's just, you start to add all this weight and stuff. And I think the side guards do enough protection. It also does come with hand guards. I think these are kind of essential for most enduro bikes, at least if you kind of make mistakes like I do and just want to save your levers from being damaged. I think they're a solid investment. I'm actually surprised with the quality of the tusk. These ones, they're actually built, I think, better than the Cycra handguards in my opinion. Some might disagree with that, but I just had a bad experience on my last bike with Cycra. None of the holes fit. It wasn't really a good fit overall. Just nothing really worked out with those handguards, and they always bent when you crashed them. Haven't really taken these or tested these out yet properly, but we'll see how it holds up. You might see I do have aftermarket grips, and these are the ODI V2 Rogue, I think. And they're just light years ahead of what the OEM ones are. These are actually kind of thick. And I also did get the ODI donut grips as well. And this is big because it prevents blisters from getting on your hands. And I did also buy these Nihilo, I might be butchering that name, grip levers or lever skins. And these just give you a little bit more grip with your gloves and stuff. And I just like the feel of them. It makes me more comfortable when I'm riding. And I think comfort is a big key in being able to ride well and ride fast. One other thing too, I did also install, I don't know, I think this would be more of a performance enhancement, is I did have my suspension fully serviced right after I bought the bike. I just wasn't sure exactly what the previous owner has done. And the fork seals on that bike were actually bad, so I had them replaced with these SKF ones. And these have just a really good reputation of being super durable and much better than stock. As far as that goes, I think that's pretty much it. I plan on keeping this bike mostly stock. I'm not really a fan of going crazy with the mods. There actually is one more thing I want to talk about, and that's performance. So a lot of guys will actually just butcher or take off the stock muffler, you know, get the GYTR ECU, CCU, and map switch. But I gotta tell you the truth, I'm very happy with how this bike performs stock. It does have the 3 free mods, which is like the throttle screw restrictor, airbox restrictor, and muffler restrictor. All those are taken out, so that does open the bike up quite a bit. Really, the EPA is after noise, not so much like CO2 emissions. So that does wake the bike up quite a bit, I think. I've never ridden it completely stock, but the one I test rode in the 2021 model did have the throttle restrictor, and it was very limiting on the open trails. Like, it was kind of a joke. You couldn't open it past full throttle. But yeah, that's that. And kind of going over how the bike rides, I really enjoy the handling. I think this is probably one of the best handling dirt bikes that I've ever ridden. Everything from the mass centralized motor, as you can see right here, I mean, that thing is just like perfectly centered almost. And the gas tank as well is right in the middle of the bike. I think Yamaha did a really good job engineering this thing into making it feel lighter than it actually is. Because some guys say like, oh, it's a little bit heavy at 254 pounds. For me, 254 pounds is already like 20 pounds lighter than the WR250F. But this thing feels like at least 30 pounds lighter than that bike. I mean, you just point and shoot and it goes. And combine that with the amazing suspension. You know, I thought people were kind of over exaggerating with these forks at first, but man, you can just attack anything at any speed and it'll hold a line. Especially whoops, like that was the biggest thing. I could go over whoops like I've never been able to before. And I'm not even a pro level rider. I'm just kind of a weekend casual rider. So no, that was a very good impression. And yeah, the mid-range for the 250 is also really good. I wouldn't say it's as responsive as, or let me take that back. I wouldn't say it's as torquey as the 450, which is to be expected, but this is a very responsive motor. It is heavily derived off the WR250F, and they did obviously tune this more for enduro. I won't be going into the whole details. I'll probably save that for another video, kind of also comparing this with the WR250FX. But it's very well built for enduro riding, I think. They did a lot of things to make it more friendly for the user, and like I said, the handling makes this bike very easy to ride, kind of no matter what your skill level is. So I'll kind of quit the rambling here. Just wanted to share with you guys what I got in the garage, and I'm very excited to have some adventures with this thing. I did order a few more parts. I will be trying out a 49 tooth rear sprocket. As it's set up right now, it's got a 13 in the front and a 51 in the rear. And I do agree, I think first gear is super short. So I think going down the 2 teeth will make each gear last a little bit longer. Plus I'll get a little bit more top end. And if I do connecting trails, it'll kind of cruise out nicely at like 55 miles an hour. So yeah, this is kind of going to be my Swiss Army knife. I plan on taking it pretty much everywhere. And, you know, I'm always looking for a bike that can do a little bit of everything and not really limit me. And as they say, third time's a charm. I'm hoping, at least, because this is my third dirt bike. And I'm thinking so far it's actually doing very well. So, all right, I'll get off my soapbox here, and thank you so much for checking it out, and I'll be posting more videos this next few months. Thanks, guys. Bye.